some longer break. Welcome guys to game number 5. We are now playing Migration with a civilization choice of Spanish, Teutons, Celts, Turks, Byzantines or Britons. And we are down to a best of 3 now. And let's take a look what they picked. We will have Miguel as the flank, very long distance here to his other flank. His pocket will be stuck with Byzantines. We have Dogao playing the Turks. We have Fiat with the Britons. And then we have with the Britons as well. Pike, his pocket will be released. Celts, Byzantines for Zuppi, and the Max with the Spanish flank. We already had a roughly 23-minute game or something. Already played, then we had a drop, couldn't restore. Then we had a second try, and we saw the restart taken by Finland. So third try for this map. And now let's see how they will play it out. First game actually went this way, that we saw 2 flanks crush. The Britons' pockets went onto a big sling, and the Byzantines rushed to Imperial Age and went to double camels. That's an option that we could see here as well, at least when it comes to the Byzantines' pockets. And yeah, let's see how they will try to play it out. Long distance now here in the south, so that won't be very aggressive. But we can see Fiat wants to play it a bit more aggressive here, and this time Pike will put his dog a bit further back. And he's already sending villagers onto berries again. Totally standard. The Max was Spain. Yes, he was. Idle villager, forgot some time. Now everyone is placing down their doggies. Not the greatest one for Miguel, but he will just build the other ones over here, and that will be totally fine then. And yeah, last game we saw Fiat going completely crazy at the pocket, like 45 fishing ship. But yeah, we won't see that this time because he's simply the flank. And his other flanks don't have the greatest spot either. I want to see Zuppi or Belize go to the middle island and put some redox over here to benefit from that great fish. Maybe an option that we could see from Dogao or Stark as well. Just take some more corner control. I feel like there shouldn't be too much happening here in the south. Should be Miguel against the Max and pretty stalemate thing. Crazy things could happen here at the top with Fiat against Pike. Seems like Pike has a pretty solid build order though. Exactly knowing how many villagers he needs to send onto berries and with how much fish he can up there. And yeah, I'm expecting a solid start from him again. Seems like they really prepared that map and put a lot of thought into it. So very happy with their preparation so far. They obviously both won both of their home maps. And we saw Brazil be taking the home map and Arabia so far. It's now going for the Lou. 2 fishing ship. Miguel looks pretty solid when it comes to the food as well. And Pike. That's a bit surprising to me. Had good deer, had early sheep, and still went for the very defensive dog here. And now dropping the food. And should be up any second. Yeah. Pretty solid start by those 3. Let's take a look. We see the Max. Going a bit slower. Oh, he actually needs to mill. Now that's interesting. Wouldn't he push all deer? I only see 1 deer here. Does he have buck deer? No, not really, right? Okay. Well, that gives a small advantage to Miguel for sure. The Max only having 4 fishing ship as well, now going up to 5. So, doesn't have the greatest advantage in that regard either. Interesting stuff. But yeah, the distance is so long, it's so tough to fight in here. Will be good. But the bad thing is, really, that Zuppy cannot go for the crazy 25 fishing ship, 30 fishing ship strategy, because he's so surrounded. Look at that, yeah, nice first layer here, but then the main island is getting there, and to the left-hand side, there's part of the main island as well, and if he wants to redock, well, then we have Belize around the corner as well. But yeah, none of the pocket positions is going too crazy. And am I confused? Why is Pike going so defensively here with the stocks? Seems like they have a special strategy planned here. And Belize is going very heavily onto berries here as well. More than I would have expected. Are they both going for water? No, that's not really an option, right? I'm surprised how this game is playing out so far. How defensively Pike is playing this, how many villagers Release has on berries already. He's adding more docks. Are they both going for water? Well, it's super close for them. Well, would be interesting. Would be interesting for sure. 2 against 2 galleys now. And yeah, Miguel will get over here, but the max will be in time, as you can see. Well, might get some losses, some HP losses here. Oh, well, got 3 volleys against 2. That's still okay. Okay, so nothing too special happened yet. The aggression of Miguel will continue. Maybe can rush onto fletching a bit better. He's already quite heavily onto berries again. And just playing this with 4 docks against maybe only 3 of the max. Looks a bit like it. And that's a lot of damage here. And the max kind of anti-microing. Oh, interesting stuff. But 4 against 4. Release is going for all the eco upgrades. That feels like a sling, maybe. Onto Pike. Would make a lot of sense. V8 could be trapped over here. And the most important thing is the dance. The max against Miguel. Is he building a blacksmith? Oh yeah, he is. That was pretty good for, will be pretty good for him, I would say. Take a look how he is playing this out. Okay, fishing ship count 15 and 17 to 18 and 17, so that's on the reasonable side for all of them. Fish, as we said, isn't that great. It's terrible waiting for the other players. Yeah, and it's happened quite a bit. And yeah, not much we can do. Except waiting for AoE2 if that changes anything. Oh, big volleys here for Miguel, and he is trying to go for the kill. But he should know that he has way smaller numbers. And oh, even getting another kill, look at that. 4-2 now, but should be losing quite a lot of HP. But he's getting fletching way earlier than the max. But now he is in the face of, well, not way earlier, but we'll have a small window. Military count 9 to 5 for him, and that's a lot on the front as well. And the max with this very poor start is looking in a tough position here. Needs to run, and maybe Zuppy will be forced to go onto some fire ship. Team streak drop. Okay, and now Miguel going for the kills again, like he did in the very first game. Lots of control, and Zuppy, he is not up yet. That will take some time. You can see Release actually going for fires here as well. What is going on? So the max is getting lots of resources. And are we seeing Zuppy? Let me take a look. What is all going on with Zuppy? See, Zuppy is going for the complete sling. And seems like Belize is going for full water. Now sending some galleys over, but that will be tough. Like, Miguel can babysit them so well, and he will always have 7 fletching. And if Felice sends his in 1 by 1, that will be pretty tough. And look at that KD now by Miguel, 15-3. Never only increased for him. He is now coming over, but losing so much HP without really taking any engagements, losing lots of fishing ship. And oh god, Miguel is in such a good spot. Let's take a look at the other side. We can see VH dancing against Pike. And now it's, well, Miguel kind of taking the engagement against 3 players here. Zupi with some galleys. We can see the Max chasing down. And now we see the Max and Felice up. VH up. Togao going for the Castle Age land approach. 2 docks, 2 stables for him, and Stark going for the full sling. Byzantines, interesting that they're switching that. Miguel getting just so many kills in, and he still has a pretty big force here at the front. And what is that of a dog of the Max? No idea what's... Oh, that's... Yeah, not really achieve. Oh, weird stuff. Okay, Pike will get the upgrades, VH will go the upgrades, both retreating for now. I'm a bit surprised that Miguel is not on the way to Castle Age yet. And maybe the Max can hold here for quite a bit. Now going for the University. And Miguel only up now. Did they maybe oversling VH a bit? Take a look at VH's resources. No, he's spending them quite nicely. Ballistics as well. And yeah, he was in quite a tough situation, so going for the sling on that side kind of makes a lot of sense. But, oh god, how many galleys released needed to do again? Okay, but the Max now with ballistics, he will have somewhat of a timing where he can push. But yeah, distance, as we said several times, so long now. Okay, Pike, that will be a better engagement for him. With the dock around. Or will it be? It's a bit surprising. Now the army coming around to Zupi up to Castle Age, Miguel. So we will see Stark staying in Feudal Age. And the rest on the way to Castle Age. Miguel needs to run. Let's take a look at his resources. Well, he probably needs to send some villagers into that tower. He wants to do some more damage. Is the Max trying to focus that one down? Could be an option. Miguel is trying to debate a bit, trying to go for the dance. He's now getting the upgrades. Big fight over here. Did not happen. VH, he has ballistics. Pike, probably as well. 1 second, I saw a defense upgrade there in the tech tree. Togao, is he maybe thinking about going up already? Don't see any farms. And yeah, Stark even going for double redock here. And Togao is up to Imperial Age. Miguel now trying to take the engagement without War Galley. Really being researched. Okay, now he's rushing to it and now he's trying to take the engagement again. Miguel actually a villager behind. Military count 27 for Miguel. The Max only 4 behind. But Felice will lose all his galleys there and that's just painful for him. Let's take a look. Ballistics for Miguel as well. I'm not sure how this will play out. Yeah, sneaking around, but Pike very active. He's trying to deny that. Take a look at Lee's going for the +2 for his pikeman in the middle. We don't see too often. Togao went for some knights. He's now going for archery range and siege workshop in the middle. And that's what I said. That's what I like about the Turks. If they are pocket, they can just have such a strong eco. Oh, not sure if 2 fire ship are the real answer here. I think you need to wait for more like 4 or something. Oh, he got 1 kill. And Stark is somewhat helping out. Not really. Oh, over here would have been a bit better, but yeah, let's take a look. V8 still in somewhat of control against Pike. He's not trying to take another engagement. He's 6 villages behind. Point lead switching back and forth here. And another big engagement. We can see Zopi actually going heavily onto water, not going onto land. Seems like that's the thing that Release is supposed to go for. But he's only going for pikes against upcoming hand cannon bombard cannon upgrade. Yeah, Miguel will lose that engagement, but well, he was 2v1, so that's kind of okay-ish, I would say. Most important thing is that he will get villagers over now. And yeah, just make sure that he cannot get defeated. Plus water will be a very tough task for him now, especially if Zupi is controlling a bit better. Let's take a look. That's a big water fight. Military count 33 for V8, 30 for Pike. I believe though shorter reinforcement lines for Pike should give him a small advantage if he's fighting with everything. Some war galleys not very active. V8 is sending in more and more. Only now the eco upgrade for V8, so that's pretty late. I believe that should be a bit better for Pike still, but heavy losses for both of them. Or will it be? 22 military, 60 military, it's super close. Maybe V8 is winning this. He's sending in quite a bit, and oh boy, I didn't see that coming. Zupi and Release now up to the Imperial Age though, but well, there's one hungry guy playing for SY from Brazil B who's controlling the middle beautifully, and I have no idea what they can do against hand cannoneer bombard cannon. Well, Knight is obviously a good option, but like who should go for it? Release? Not an option. Zupi? No bloodlines, no eco for that. Completely on water, no option. Miguel is actually pushing. This looks very, very good for Brazil B. V8 is pushing on the land as well, and they're kind of winning on 3 sides at the moment. Land, Miguel is winning, V8 is winning. It's looking so good for them. Zupi now sending in some stuff. Yeah, it could be 2 players in Imperial Age against only 1, but yeah, and still Stark Imperial Age, so yeah, that's some arguments, but still all the strategic things are going better for Brazil B. No? Well, they need to retreat here. Look at that, siege workshops will go down. That's still Knight from very early on. Oh, wanting the scout! Oh. V8 is retreating, Miguel is retreating, so yeah, fighting 3v2 on water means they... Oh! Well, that looks like a solid engagement by Miguel. He's very nicely positioned and took some time till Zupi could take this engagement properly. He's now going back while Max is taking this engagement, and Miguel, this beast, and now he's chasing this down as well. Going for the pike control behind that. Zupi up to Imperial Age, but yeah, what does it really matter? His military count is at well, 40. Okay, that's solid. There's some over here, Galleon's Embracer, and that's a lot of villagers going down here for the poor Mr. Pike. He's down to only 40 villagers compared to 55 for VH, so pretty strong game by him. Some villagers running around, but already chased down by hand cannoneers, and there's no chance they can really get a foothold onto the mainland, as it seems. Look out, just in full control. They aren't losing the water fast enough, and now it's just a mission. Every one of Brazil B needs to go onto the mainland, and then I think they got this. Maybe have one player into late Imperial Age, it cannot be Miguel, to go for water. PH obviously the big problem, he is losing quite a bit here. And he's not on the way to Imperial Age, so maybe they just need to sacrifice everything. But, well, the mainland is theirs, and in the very most games, that's what counts. Stark should stop the sling. Should go for big boom in the middle as well. We can see 2 extra TCs, and how the villagers are walking might even be 3 extra TCs indeed, so all the right steps for him. Zupi now going for Arbalest. Maybe that's a chance for a comeback, but well, they won't perform too well against bombard cannons, but there aren't too many hand cannoneers to protect the bombard cannons, so let's take a look at that. And I'm trying to scan all the potential landing spots, and they aren't really happening. PH going for Carroneering, and yeah, that doesn't look too great for them. So water will be lost for sure. Maybe even on both sides. Let's take a look. Miguel trying to take the engagement here with the +1 defense. Not too many galleons around. One by one they're coming in. So yeah, water will be won. And now the very strategic gameplay starts. Can Togao hold the mainland? If he can, they win the game. If he can't, they lose it. So easy guys. Simple Age of Empires equations. Eco will be better for the Finns though, because they will control all the external lands and islands. So that will be mass idle villagers. Look at that. VH from his 60 villagers could easily drop down to like 15-20ish. We will see Togao will be completely surrounded. They will lose all their water. Stark needs to send all the villagers over as well. He's actually on the way to Imperial Age, so it seems like Stark is the guy who's supposed to go onto water. Kind of weird. Miguel, obviously not having Gracer, shouldn't be the one they pick. Togao is going for land, so that's not really an option. Fiat is completely surrounded, so if they want to have a guy on water, it should probably be him, yeah. Let's see. But military count looks pretty solid at the moment for the Finns. Oh, and the Arbalest. They're doing quite a good job. Up. And they're so much easier to micro than the hand cannons and bombard cannons. But yeah, now they're getting solid numbers. Isn't Togao even going for Cavaliers now? Not sure how he can afford this, but seems like he can squeeze it out. Hussars would have been like a bit more intuitive choice. Already having the upgrades there and maybe having the better food eco, but yeah, probably being the Turks, he has the gold extra anyways. Going for the denial over here. Maybe the Max with Cavaliers can do something. That's the biggest hope that they have at the moment. But maybe the Max can clear this up. Togao is going for nice numbers. Maybe shouldn't go for Cavaliers, but Camels. But yeah, that's tough to see. At the moment, he mainly wants to out-counter the Arbalest. I don't like that Stark's Island isn't completely surrounded yet. Miguel trying to desperately hold on. He made it onto the main island. Nice transition. What is Stark going for? At the moment, he is at 88 villagers, so that was pretty nice by him. Oh, let's take a look. The Cavaliers coming over and taking the big engagement. For now, they're only 4. And oh boy, the hand cannoneers going pretty poorly. Bombard cannons getting some nice shots off against the Arbalest here. And we can see the Max closing down the distance. Hand cannoneers need to do more damage. The 3 militia from Zupi, they should change the tides. Nice ground attack here, nice ground attack. And Zupi losing a lot of Arbalest here. Cavaliers now losing their lives as well. And suddenly, Togao, it looked a bit slim for him. But now he is back on track, I would say. But lost a lot of army. Military count for him 37 though, and the Max +4 defense and Paladins. This is still an open game, I have to say. It just depends on how well the Max can get onto more Paladins, more land control. He needs to get the gold sling, but they should not have a lot of control of the gold. Let's take a look. Maybe some landings over here. Oh, that's not too much. How much gold does he have here? 1 spot. Trying to go for a second one. I believe maybe Cavaliers could have been the better option. Just 10 more Cavaliers, better than the Paladins against such small numbers. But yeah, having the Paladin tech for the long run, obviously super nice as well. Byzantines, Stark, he could maybe go for the Camels now, but he's going for lots of castles all around the map. What is his military count? Only at 4, so he didn't really decide what he wants to go for. Max trying to debate a bit. But Togao has a nice buffer now. Paladin's coming in and... or at least the upgrade. There, you need to go back. 12 range against 12 range. Togao going for the +4 defense. Question still stands. Wouldn't camels be an option? So much land control. As you can see, Pike not on land at all. He is probably slinging. Let's take a look at the quick slinging stats. We can see Pike start to sling. So you can see release full sling. The Max receiving the sling. And Zuppy receiving the sling as well. Okay. It's a very close game. Togao cannot take any bad engagements. Not 100% sure if he wants to take the fight before his +4 and +2 finishes. For his Cavaliers. Oh, and now he's taking big engagement. Bombard cannons should be raining back here, maybe even ground attacking. Seems like he is losing this attack here at the front, but still some nice amount of hand cannoneers doing the damage in the back. But Paladins, it's looking good for them. Camels now getting attacked by Togao. Maybe a thing that they wanted to see from Stark, not 100% sure what's better there, having the upgrades or having them so much cheaper. Now it's all closing down. The Max, he is winning this. The Max, I counted them out. They didn't have enough control of the middle, but it seems like having just a bit of the gold control was enough here. And Togao going for probably the wrong tech choice. Going for Cavaliers there. He didn't need the counter against the Arbalest. He had the counter with the Bombard Cannons. He did the counter against a potential Paladin switch. And didn't have it. He didn't have it. And now they're landing all over the place. And getting more and more map control. Trying to crawl into it. Castles of Stark and Togao still standing strong. But under some danger. What is Stark going for? Stark is still slinging Togao. Interesting. So he only went in for a sling upgrade, as it seems. Or maybe he's going for Harbidiers now. Okay. So it will be Harbidier action. But that makes Zuppy stronger and stronger now. How many castles does Stark have? 3, and he just recently lost one. So yeah, he's really going for a lot of map control here, it seems. Yeah, don't get confused by the military count. That's obviously heavily inflated for Finland here, because they have the water control. Lots of fishing ship here. Pike really going for the reboom. Look at that, 30 fishing ship. Maybe even Redock and build one here. It will be super tricky. Start losing another castle. Togao now finally having all the upgrades on his camels. Yeah, it's bomber towers done, going for fletching, and maybe then he can hold, but yeah, still no marketry. I'm confused. Yeah, I believe that's how it's called, right? So no extra range for his bomber towers and bomber cannons. Stark now, nice amount of Harbidiers, +2 defense, so they will perform reasonably well against the Paladins. But the Arbalest, they're getting stronger and stronger, and suddenly it feels like Zuppy, in combination of the Max, they cannot get pushed back. Maybe they can get held by a lot of bomber towers, but I can see some bomber towers out, I can see more castles, I can see rams. So they're doing everything right at the moment. Miguel getting onto Imperial Age. Maybe he can do something. But Celts, they need some eco to provide a lot of help. He is at 117 villagers though, so maybe that is enough eco. No, Paladin count dropping heavily. Do we see any contestants for the water? Not really. Oof. Bomber towers. Oh, he has the range upgrade. They're at 12 now, so bomber cannons actually the same range. He needs traps. See a lot of more access. And Ogao now with all his bomber towers. Look at that, he's controlling this beautifully. So we need to get onto elite cannon galleons to really contest those. And let's think about it. Spanish have elite cannon galleons. I believe Britain don't, Celt don't. I'm not as sure about Byzantines. But yeah, that's both the guys who actually want to go for land. So yeah, those bomber towers with 13 range at the moment. And really be contested in the water. Oh, Miguel, pikeman and onager. Oh, that's obviously an army that could be so good against what Zupi and the Max have here. And endless amount of towers just spread around. Ah, they're playing this very nicely, I have to say. Not sure if Miguel should actually tag for the halberdiers. I think he should only tag for some siege. Onager attack now finished. Siege engineers, can he get some shots in? First bada booms. Getting some nice sweet kills in. And now we can see Zupi needs to retreat. The Max is coming over and the halberdiers need to protect the onagers. More and more bomber towers, and they are just so sweet. They're zoning out such a great area. And oh, where did that one go? Because of the Max under some threat now as well. Those halberdiers can obviously not really take the engagement against the paladins, but well, they will just do some damage, and that's at least gold efficient. Bomber towers are helping out as well. Halberdiers, well, they will just take the fight, knowing that it's not too great for the Max to trade off paladins against halberdiers, even if it would be cost efficient in some way. It's clearly not gold efficient. And Miguel just continuing to go for a very strong army. Took out 14 range bomber cannons. And look at that, I thought he was focusing on mining camp, but actually he's reaching over the whole map and trying to focus down those arbalests there. And now that's a big problem. The Max right hand side, Zupi left hand side. Elite cataphracts for Zupi. What are we witnessing here? How can you afford that? Pop 140 for him. Well, they should be able to get some of the stuff. Miguel even going for SO. And this game is going to the full tech tree. It's something we don't see too often in a migration game. Most of the times games will get decided early on in Feudal Age, in Castle Age, on Water, maybe early Imperial Age sometimes. But that we see SO tech, that we see elite cataphracts, paladins, arbalests, you name it, completely upgraded Turk tech. That's something we see only in the greatest games in migration here. And some more barracks. They are controlling still so much of the middle. Yeah, the Max has enough control of the goals. He's at pop 154, trying to go for more and more paladins. He's looking quite strong when it comes to those engagements. Arbalests from the back helping out, but Miguel SO are around the corner, and well, halberdiers protecting them quite nicely. He's going for his own halberdiers. We can see some idle villagers here being fixed. And VH still playing some Feudal Age. He knows Britons on this map, with those units out, they won't do too much. And therefore he still is slinging. On the other side we have Pike slinging and Release slinging. Oh boy, and those paladins, I'm not really sure what they can really do now. They're way alone. So many halberdiers, SO are doing their job. Traps from behind. We still have even some rams here from siege ram upgrade. And yeah, the SO just doing damage from the distance. You see Miguel not even going for chemistry here, so that his arrows are flying a bit faster. And Dogao, next step of controlling more and more areas here. He's pushing nicely at the left hand side. Zuppi is trying to fight this off, but how can he? The big problem is the push at the right hand side, and it feels finally Brazil B is pushing this back. There aren't many paladins left. Military count at close to single digits here for the mech. Big SO shots, and that has to be it. This cannot be pushed back. GG, the best game so far. Game number 5 goes to Brazil B, and this gives them 2 match points to become the champions in the SY Nations Cup 2017. And we still have 2 great maps to go. What an entertaining game. Miguel, probably the hero here, taking such a nice advantage here over the max. Then super active, forcing Belize and Zuppi on a lot of water. Then we had the big sling still on Pike. They lost the water, but they had Dogao controlling all the middle. Then I believe he switched a bit late against the Paladins or Cavaliers of the max. But luckily, the advantage was too big at that point. Stark could go for the cheap Halberdiers. We even had Miguel going for the strong boom and then onto Halberdiers as well. And then they couldn't really compete against the Kelton Imp, Turkin Imp, and even Byzantines. Squeezing in some trash units as well. Beautiful play from Brazil B here. Stark, obviously the big slinger won't have the greatest KD. Then going on to Halberdiers. At least 21k. She's slinging more. Yeah, but Stark went on to some castles. And actually reached Imperial Age. I would be tired after playing this game. Well, depends on who you are. If you are VH and just boom to 200 villagers and went for full sling. That's actually sick. That he's completely defeated on his mainland. And that I said like, oh, you could go down to 15 to 20 villagers. And now you can see him at 200. Solid stuffy.